did a lot of sports, but those were my two main ones. I wanted to go to college for track. I wasn't very good in school, but math came really easy to me. Going to these meetings and like talking to all these different people was like super scary.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know like why people didn't like me. I didn't know what I did wrong.
Lana, I'm here with Maggie Lindemann.
Hey guys.
So you were born in Dallas. Were your parents born there as well, or?
No. So my dad was born in this place called Refugio, Texas, a really small town. And then my mom, that's a good question. She bounced around like a lot as a child, and I actually don't really know where she was born. I think she was born in Austin, Texas. That's right. Sorry, Mom. You're born in Austin. I knew that. Yeah.
What were their careers when you were growing up?
My mom is a paralegal, but now she's a substitute teacher, and she teaches for kids with disabilities. And my dad is like a stockbroker around that like field.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think you got your creative side then from?
So my grandpa is super like into entertainment. He taught himself how to play the piano like amazing when he was young. Yeah, my brother also loves to sing too, so me and him are both pretty musical.
What were they playing in the house when you were growing up?
Oh my God. My mom loved like Gwen Stefani.
What?
Loved,
That's so
like,
hip.
Yeah, Christina Aguilera, Eminem, like Sade. Like we grew up listening to like all different kinds of genres of music. So, yeah.
Do you remember the first CD that you got or listened to online?
Oh God, I think it was a Disturbed CD. My mom got it and we listened to it in the car all the time. Also probably like my own personally was probably like the Jonas Brothers or Hannah Montana.
And then back then in high school you were kind of like a rebellious kid, right?
Yeah, I was. I was pretty good all high school, like ever since like elementary school, middle school I was always really good. And then in 9th grade I got really rebellious, like, you know, did all that crazy stuff for a few months and then got myself back into shape. So yeah, it was short-lived.
And then you were also like on the track team and everything. Sports came easy to you? Or?
Yeah. I did track, I did cross country. I did a lot of sports, but those were my two main ones. I wanted to go to college for track.
Oh wow.
I like when I was in 5th grade, I ran with the high school team. So I was always like super athletic.
Whoa, and you were like training all the time and everything?
Yeah, like track was my life. I was like doing track every day before school. I was doing cross country every morning and after school. I was like running all the time, always track. So I was super athletic, super fit. It's so sad I lost it, but it's okay.
How else would you describe yourself back then growing up?
I was really hyperactive. I was like really outgoing. It was really sweet. I loved everyone. I was like really happy, always smiling, never really sad. Yeah, I don't know. I was a lot different than I am now, but change is good. So.
Were you into school though? No,
I wasn't into school. I enjoyed going to school because I enjoyed being with my friends and like hanging out and stuff. But no, I'm not into school. I was into math though.
Oh, was that your favorite subject?
That was my favorite subject. Yeah. I don't know.
It just came easy to you, or?
Yeah, I wasn't very good in school, but math came really easy to me.
That's really cool.
Yeah, super rare. But yeah.
Do you have singers in your family, or did you just start singing at a really young age?
Yeah, I've been singing ever since I was little. Like, I did church choir, I did choir at school, I did musicals, plays, all that growing up. So I was always super musical. I loved to sing. But I never really, like, took it seriously or thought that it was, like, I don't know. I just thought, like, singing was, everyone loved to sing. Because my brother sang, too, all the time.
Oh, wow.
We both, like loved to sing. So it was just kind of a thing in our house.
How were you dealing with, like, early bullying when you were in school, or like slight depression?
I didn't deal with it very well, I don't think. I don't know, I just kind of like lived it out. it got pretty bad at some points, and I think that I didn't handle it like I should have. But it was hard. It was definitely hard, like, growing up with that atmosphere. But I don't know. I got through it.
Yeah.
I'm good now.
Were you able to talk to your parents? Did they know about what was going on?
Yeah, my parents knew about the bullying. It wasn't even, like, behind closed doors. It was pretty, like, out in the open. So they would hear about it at my school, or they would hear about it from other parents, or they would hear about it from me. So I got, yeah, they knew about it, and they were trying to give me help. They put me in, like, therapy sessions, and they put me in, like, different facilities to try to get me help. Nothing really worked. Until finally it started working and things started getting better.
What was the turning point that it started working?
I don't know. I think that I went to this one place and I was there for a while, and I don't know. Stuff started to click. I was away from, like, all the bullying, and I was away from, like, that whole atmosphere for a really long time. So I got to be around people that were a little more positive and, like, wanted the best for me, and that really helped. And then we also moved. Like, I never went back when I got out, so we went straight to Bernie, Texas, which is, like, where we are now. And it was great there. Like, people were nice to me. I got friends really easily, so it was cool once I moved there. Everything was good.
Yeah. Did your parents limit earlier on the time you spent on social media?
No. They were always, like, super supportive of it. They thought it was cool. It wasn't cool back then, like, when I first started. But they were always super supportive of it. They thought it was cool. So I was on Keek, and then I was also on Tumblr. So I did Tumblr and Keek. And then I transitioned from Tumblr over to Instagram.
What drew you to those platforms initially, or, like, sharing your life and stuff you like?
Yeah, I don't know. I just... well, okay, so back then, Instagram didn't have videos, so that's why I was on Keek. And on Keek, I would sing. And then on Tumblr, I would just post pictures of myself that were, like, you know, artsy or whatever. And then Instagram's when I started, like, I feel like being more myself and posting about my life and posting about, like, who I was.
And then your manager found you, like, early on. You must have been surprised.
Yeah.
Did you, like, delete the email that
Yeah,
he sent?
yeah.
I deleted it.
Yeah, no, okay, so what happened was he reached out to my email. My dad, like, I had just been through so much, so my parents didn't want me to be let down again because, you know, the industry is very difficult and it doesn't always work out, and they just didn't want me to have, you know, another thing that I was like, oh, wow, like, you know, I suck, whatever.
Oh, were you trying to get into music before that?
So I always sang, and I sang on, you know, the app or whatever, so they knew, like, I liked to sing, but I never took it as, like, a career. It was always just something I liked to do. So when he reached out, my parents just deleted the email, and he kept emailing me a bunch. And they finally, like, responded, and I flew out to LA, and I met with him at Capitol Records, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they afraid of you, like, with the trip to LA, like, getting into music too early?
I don't think they were scared of that. I just think they were scared that, like, it wouldn't work out, and then I would be, like, let down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, yeah, it was just so much, and, you know, that's, like, that would be pretty sad for me. But no, it's working out, so it's pretty cool.
Were you afraid earlier on, like, doing all these meetings, but you didn't have, like, your original music out yet, or writing your own original music?
Yeah, I mean, it was just weird. Like, I didn't know, like, what anything meant. I didn't know anything about the music industry other than, like, oh, like, you sing. That's, like, literally, I didn't know anything. So going to these meetings and, like, talking to all these different people, it was, like, super scary.
Yeah.
And, like, when I first met with my manager, he was, like, in a room with a bunch of other people, and I was, like, really nervous. They wanted me to sing for them. I was so nervous. I never sing in front of anyone. Like, not even my closest friends I sing for. I just don't like to sing in front of people. I get really, really nervous. So doing that was, like, terrifying. Like,
Oh my
so
gosh,
terrifying.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
It was awful.
Where do you think you gained the confidence over time?
I think just, like, growing up on social media and, like, then having, now that I do have my own music and I do perform in front of people and I do, you know, like, I meet people and I have to talk to people and I have to interact, I think that, like, it's helped me a lot just seeing that people do really care about me, or people like want the best for me, or people like look up to me, or whatever it may be, like that just gives me some confidence, makes me feel better about myself.
Was it difficult going from just singing by yourself to being in sessions and like having to write? Like, were you also writing?
Yeah.
You're also writing stuff like poems and stuff?
Yeah, I've always loved to write. Like, I've been writing poems. If you followed me from like the very beginning, you know, I like used to have a poetry page on Instagram, and I like write a lot, and I do a lot of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've been writing, but yeah, it was just like weird. I don't know. Like, I went into voice lessons and like piano lessons and all this different stuff that I've never done before. And by the way, vocal lessons, if you take vocal lessons, they're hard. They're really hard, and it's exhausting. So I was doing them like 4 times a week.
It was like for a few months that you were in this intensive training.
Yeah, and I just started. Like, I think I had released my first song, and I was releasing a couple of kids, because I remember we would go to voice lessons, and I would just be singing a couple of kids like nonstop for however long I was there. And I would just be so exhausted afterwards. I would just go home and fall asleep.
What gave you the confidence that this was your time to move out to LA a few years ago?
I don't know. The music thing started to take off. Like, I started to do a lot more music, and I just needed to be here for it. So, yeah, my parents were like, just go. Like, you need to go.
Were you like living with someone here, or how were you like able to support yourself financially?
So I was, when I first came out, I did have a boyfriend, so I was kind of like staying with him and staying with friends, and then I finally got my own place with, I had a roommate, so we like shared.
And then how were you able to develop like the brand and your image? Was this something that you've thought about for a while, like how you presented yourself, the type of music you made?
I've always, yeah and no. I've never been that person that's like, oh, image, like, don't, like, some people, you know, they have this like super like image that you see online, and then in person they're different because they want this image for themselves. I think that like what you see is pretty much what you get with me. I'm pretty much like the same person on and off. I might be like, obviously I don't share like completely everything on the internet, so if you meet me I might be like a little different. I feel like on the internet I'm a lot like more hyper and like active and like crazy than I am in real life. I'm kind of like calm in real life and shy and like to myself. So I don't know, my image, like, it does, yeah, like I have created this image for myself, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'm kind of just all over the place, so I don't even know like what my image is. But with the music, yeah, I have thought a lot about like what I want to put out and how I want like my music to be. But I still think it's changing and developing. Like, what I'm making now, I might not be making in like a month. I don't know. I love all different genres of music, so I definitely do want to explore like more than just the genre I'm doing right now.
How about your fashion style?
My fashion is always changing. When I started out, I was super, how would I even categorize? Oh my god, a little bird. I think when I first started out, I was kind of like more grungy. Just because like on Tumblr I was like more grungy and more like Tumblr girl, so I was like that. And then when I like came out to LA and like whatever, I started being a little more just like, you know, this LA like little girl or whatever. But I think my style like to heart is more how I dress now. I like to wear dark clothes. I like dark makeup. Yeah, I just like to, I don't know, like, I just dress a little darker.
How about people who inspired your style?
My style, inspirations, I love, like, Charlie XCX.
So good.
The best. I follow a lot of people on Instagram that I'll, like, see their outfits. I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute. Like, their outfits are so cute. Who else? People like Lana. I love her little outfits. What Selena's been doing lately is really cute. Also Tupor. I love Tupor.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Layla. Her style is so dope. Who else? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I also bookmark a lot of things. Like, I love that Instagram has that now.
Yeah, it's
because
so
I
good.
bookmark like every time I see
Same.
an outfit. So I don't even know all the names, but there's so many people that
Yeah.
inspire my outfits. Like, so many people.
What do you love so much about Lana Del Rey?
Everything. I love like her music. I love her style. I love her like persona. I just love her everything. Like the way she carries herself, the way she speaks, the way she sings. Like I just love her. Like everything about her. It's like my favorite.
And how long ago did you sign with 300?
I signed with them when I was 18, or about to turn 18. So it's been a year.
Were you scared that you signed too early on, that they'd be like telling you what to do, like what songs to put out?
I think I was super excited at first. I don't think I was ever really scared at first, more excited. And then like when I got more into the industry, I was a little scared just because a lot of people starting out can do like mostly their own thing in the beginning, which I was pretty quick to have to, like be on this quick schedule and do this and that and not do this or not do that, which I wish I could have experienced a little bit more of the whole like my own thing, but I'm really grateful for them. They do a lot for me and I'm able to do a lot because of them, so yeah.
And you said in previous interview that you were like learning that not everyone likes you. How did you like overcome that and everything?
I mean, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes, I'll get like mean comments or people will say mean stuff to me and it's like, okay, like whatever. It used to bother me a little bit just because I didn't know like why people didn't like me. I didn't know what I did wrong and that would upset me. But now it's just kind of like, of course not everyone's gonna like me. I can't help that. There's people that I don't like. It's not like I hate them. I just don't, like their music or whatever it may be. And it's not a bad thing, so it's whatever. Not everyone can like you. So.
And what were the themes behind the tattoos that you have?
Oh God. So I just got this one.
Ooh.
Like a few, yeah.
Oh wow, I
Which
love
is
that.
it's the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's Sally holding the flower when she's like picking off the petals when Jack like comes and starts singing to her.
Is that one of your favorite movies?
It is.
Okay,
it's
I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah, it's like my childhood favorite movie, so I had to get it tatted on me. And then I'm like all yadded up. This is just fear. Like fear like drives people and fear drives me, I think, which is kind of cool. And then I don't even know really the meanings behind my hand tattoos. They don't all have meanings. This one means like the Hollywood Walk of Fame because all the stars. I always wanted to go to Hollywood as a kid, so I got the star. And then the planets I just thought were cool. I do like the planets. I do like, outer space and all that. I'm really into like the moon, and so I guess that's why. I don't know. This is my brother's birth year and then my parents' birth year. This is my favorite poem. God, the list goes on. I love horror, so I got a knife, little blood, not afraid. It's from a song by Kieswe. And always, I don't know. There's so many. Like I could keep going, but yeah.
Was it difficult to come out as bi?
Yes and no. I was actually way more scared to tell my parents than I was to fans because, I don't know, like, so I actually told my friends literally right before I went on live, like, right before I texted them, I was like, so, like, I'm doing this, and you guys are about to find out, and it's gonna be really weird, so let me just tell you. So I told my friends. My friends were like,
you didn't tell anyone, like, before that you were in high school? Wow.
No, and, I think, like, 2 people knew, and there were 2 girls, because I, like, talked to them, so they knew. So they knew, and then when I told my friends, they were like, duh, like, we knew. I was like, oh, okay. My parents were super supportive, and then the fans were super supportive, too. So it was cool. I wasn't really that scared, and then once I was done, was like, it felt like a relief just because like I'd wanted to say it for so long and I was scared to tell my parents, but I wasn't scared to tell like fans or anything.
Do you think your life changed a bit since telling everyone?
Not really, honestly. I still feel the same. I still feel like everything's kind of the same. Like there's not really that big of a difference, I don't think.
And what was it like doing the Pat McGrath, because you're such a beauty person, and to get that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. She's amazing. She's so sweet. She's a legend, so working with her was like just crazy. But yeah, she was really awesome, really easy to work with, just all around like a really good person. So it was really cool to work with her, and like, it's so cool.
Is that something that you want to get more and more into, like the beauty and fashion?
Yeah, definitely. I want to get more into like the fashion side. I'm working on that right now. I want to like eventually do like my own clothing line or something,
Oh, wow.
something cool like that, or designing some stuff or doing something like that. I don't know. I'm really big into fashion, so hopefully doing more fashion. I'm really into beauty, but I think fashion's more of like where I'm at right now. But I definitely do want to keep doing like beauty stuff. Would be cool, yeah.
How do you think your music has changed since the early songs you made?
Oh God. I just think it's, I don't know, like Pretty Girl and Obsessed are so crazy different from like Things. I love Things. I still love Things. I still think it's like my favorite song I've ever done. It's so cool, like the vibe. When I first came out, I wanted to do like, oh hi puppy. I wanted to do like really vibey music, which was the plan. Oh my gosh, there's a dog right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there was a dog. Amazing Grace, come. But it's Amazing Grace. Okay, anyways. I didn't even know we were talking about the dog, just completely.
Your music changes compared to the songs you had now.
Sorry, okay. Music changes. But yeah, I wanted to do like super vibey music in the beginning. And now I think I'm more in like the dance pop kind of vibe. But yeah, my music's like always changing. So who knows? Like tomorrow I can want to do a rock album. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. How do you think you've grown as a person since when you were younger?
I'm a lot more, a lot stronger now. I'm way more independent. I used to be very dependent on others, and I don't know, I was like really different. I was super, like, I don't even know. I was just like such like a innocent little like child, and now I just feel like I'm grown and like I'm out here living on my own. I have a house now. I have a dog that like I've raised. Like I could never do that when I was younger. I was just so different, and I think I've changed for the better, but also maybe a little bit. It could still be worked on, but yeah, definitely my confidence has raised a lot. I used to not have any confidence, so that's been like the main thing that's been really nice.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far?
Having to grow up really fast. Like I moved out here when I was 16, and I had to grow up really fast. I was immediately put into, you know, like vocals, and immediately jumping into like having to do stuff every single day, all day, was like super challenging because I was just 16 and I had just came from school. Like I was literally going to a public school to being on the road all the time, which is super hard, and I didn't know how to handle it, and I wanted to sing and I wanted to do what I'm doing, but at the same time I wanted to be a kid, and I wanted to be able to like go out with my friends and like go to birthday parties or go to like functions or events, and I wasn't really able to do all that. So that kind of sucked, but at the same time, like I am where I am now, so.
What does success look like to you?
I think success for me is when I'm being like genuine and being happy with what I'm doing, like with the music I'm putting out and with where I'm at. Like I think right now I'm having success because I'm happy with where I'm at and with where the music's at, and just, you know, everything that's been happening I think's super cool, so I think that's success.
Mm-hmm. Last question. What do you want to be remembered for?
God, I want to be remembered for making people laugh and making people feel with my music, and yeah, I want people to feel like they have something to relate to when they listen to my music, and feel like they're not alone, and that there is other people out there like going through the same stuff, and yeah, I want to like inspire people. So
Yeah.
I hope I'm remembered for that.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, guys.